Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Mary,
I'm Linda.
and we're sisters, Pinky Ball sisters in the kitchen. And so we're going to make something delicious at Linda's house today.
Yeah, this is an old something that I guess people cooked all the time when we were growing up, right, Mary?
Yeah. It's something
we
had.
always had fresh vegetables from the garden, and Pinky Ball, I don't remember him doing the little baby potatoes. Do you? He let the potatoes stay in the ground till they were big.
Okay, but we did get some fresh potatoes.
We got potatoes, but they wasn't little big
Okay,
ones.
yeah, he probably didn't. I don't remember exactly. I just remember him leaving them potatoes at the back
We
door.
dug potatoes. I
Yeah.
love to dig potatoes, and we planted them too.
Yeah,
We planted
we did,
potatoes.
yeah.
But anyway, Mama used to fix green beans and potatoes, and sometimes she'd put meat in them, sometimes she wouldn't, just depending on
Well, it was good
whether or
without
not
the
she
meat.
had it. But it's good either way. But we're gonna put some diced ham in it, and then top it with some crumbled bacon today. And I'm just gonna cook a quick pan of cornbread just because I want to eat some of it, and I want some cornbread to go with it.
I'm going to eat some of it
So,
too. It sounds delicious.
We've got our just a little bit of red onion, and you can use any kind of onion you got. This was what was already cut in the fridge, and that's what I use. So it's just red onion, and you can use white, Vidalia, whatever kind you want to use, yellow. So I got them chopped. I guess they're not quite minced, but they're chopped pretty fine.
Right.
So we're gonna put these. We're gonna move over to the stove, and little Linda is working today at home, catching up. It's kind of funny because Carla, hey Linda,
Hey.
we miss y'all. I talked to her a minute this morning, and she said, "I'm gonna catch up, Aunt Linda. I'm gonna catch up." And she said, because she was off Friday, and I said we were all off Friday. And so if y'all are wondering why we didn't answer emails or messages or texts, we just really kind of took a long weekend. So I hope that y'all will bear with us on that. So I guess we're gonna move over there.
So I'm gonna be manning this camera today since little Linda had to work from home today. So I'm gonna do my best to do the best I can with this camera and try to help Linda too. I don't like moving the camera because I know sometimes it messes up when I do.
I've got the oven preheated to 425 for my cornbread, and y'all know I make cornbread a lot on here, but I just wanted it to eat with this. So Mary's, you're going to start sauteing the
I'm going to put
onions and
a couple
vegetables,
spoons of bacon grease. This is what she fried this morning. Okay. In here, and then here's the onions that she chopped up. I'll put them in here. And we're going to saute this. I hope everyone had a good weekend, blessed weekend with Easter. I know I did. I enjoyed it so much, getting to visit with great grands and Carla and all the family.
I know they want to hear all about it, Mary.
Yeah. We'll talk about it in a minute. It started. Let's see. When did I go up there? When I left, I stopped by Charles O'Neill's, my brother's, and spent the night with them.
You left Thursday afternoon, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I left. Yeah, I did leave on Thursday. I sure did. And went visited with them a little while, and all their children. Mark came up to see us and seen me, and Grace and Roy, Charles O'Neill's daughter, and her husband came up and had. Actually, they didn't come for dinner that night. They waited for me to get there to eat supper, and it was 7 o'clock when I got there. That was that they had to wait a long time because they normally eat at 5 o'clock. But Linnell is an excellent cook.
She's a very good cook.
Very good cook. She made barbecue chicken and English peas and carrots and. What else did she have on that? I think it was potato salad. Yeah, it was potato salad. Linda
I'm
made.
mixing up cornbread, and I've got to where I do this quite often. I'm gonna mix this with a mixer just because there's a little bit of egg that's not incorporated in that good.
Okay.
And if it's not, you're gonna get a piece of white
Yeah,
in your
you will.
cornbread. So
Yeah.
y'all just
Okay.
excuse me for a
Okay.
minute. I'm gonna mix this up
All
real
right.
quick.
I'm just sauteing this onion, and and then Saturday, then Friday morning, I got up and Grace and Roy eat breakfast with us. Charles and Linnell. And Linnell fixes a sausage and potato gravy, sausage. No, it's bacon. I'm sorry, I'm getting my days mixed up. She cooked bacon and potato gravy and some biscuits, and it was a delicious breakfast. And then Mark and Sonia and Charity, Charles and Linnell, they have like a little compound up there. Their kids, they have, how many acres do they have? About 5 acres? I done forgot how many acres, but anyway, Grace and Roy, yeah, just built them a new home, and it's there. Grace and Aaron and Marcy used to live beside them. Her oldest son lives there, and then 2 of her grandkids has a home there, all on that property. Matter of fact, it's at the end of the road. Their homes. And Linda, I forgot to tell you, their road is a private road, and to their house, and all the way down there, there's a lot of homes before you get to their house. But the road, the county doesn't keep it up. You know how it is. They don't keep it up.
Charles Pinkston's the one that's
Yeah,
kept
Charles
it up.
has kept that road up and kept those holes in that gravel road fixed for years. And they have talked to the county, but they won't do it because it's out of their city limits or whatever. And Roy rented some kind of big equipment type thing, and he fixed those rows and those holes. Best road it's been there since they've been living there for
That is fantastic.
years.
I'm
And that
so
road
glad he
did
that.
not have a hole in it. I mean, it just was smooth. And I said, my goodness, I don't think I've ever driven down this road without all them holes in it. And like I said, Charles, Charles has spent thousands of dollars on that road. He's even tried to get the neighbors to help him out on it, and they won't do it. They don't want to put no money in it. So Charles has always done it. And it's not a short road either. And I think there is 1 or 2 neighbors that has helped some.
Helped a little bit.
Yeah.
That's probably
Okay.
ready to put
Yeah,
the ham
it
in.
is. But now you want the ham in it, Linda? How much ham?
Just probably about half of that.
Okay.
And
This is cubed ham.
And you can do it yourself. You can buy ham steaks and just cut little pieces. And you can buy it that's smaller than that. But
Yeah,
I wanted a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
more chunks.
This is a pound, but I'm only using half of it in here.
And I'm heating my oil for my cornbread, and I'm gonna get that in the oven pretty quick.
Okay. Now, do you want the peas in there now? I mean beans, or
I
or you
don't.
want to wait?
I
wait a little
want.
bit? Oh, that's
I
right.
want to
You're gonna
get a
cook
little
the
bit of
potatoes.
brown on that, and
Oh,
then we're
okay.
gonna get the potatoes
Okay.
cooked.
Okay.
And I'll add the
Okay.
I'll add the bean slice.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I can do this or not. I'm gonna try. Got the ham and the onions warming up before she puts the potatoes in. I used to man this camera and cook, but I tell you, I done got used to not doing it.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when you have help.
Yeah.
But we're not complaining. Linda needed to do what she needed
Yeah.
to do, and we
Yeah,
told her to.
Yeah,
So.
she had work she had to do at home.
Okay.
Linda
Let
did.
me get this in the oven real quick. And I use a little bit of oil and a little bit of bacon grease in my skillet. And when you're cooking cornbread, you want to either put it in a hot skillet or a cold one. You don't want it in there lukewarm.
Right.
Because if you do, it won't work.
Yeah, it'll stick if you don't. If you put your cornbread mix in a barely warm skillet, it will stick. It either has to be hot or completely cold for your cornbread not to stick. So anyway, yeah, Linda, are you You want to wait a few minutes, though, didn't you? You wanted this to kind of brown the ham?
Yeah, I want to get a little sear on that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add some, whoops, I just put my bowl in the water. I was going to use that bowl.
Oh.
But that's okay. I'll get a boiler for water. So, in my opinion, and a lot of people likes a lot of different things on their plate for supper. In my opinion, this right here is really all you
It's a
need for
meal.
supper.
Absolutely.
Unless you want to bake a chicken breast or cook a pork chop or eat a piece of fried chicken if you've got leftover chicken. But to me, I would just as
Me
soon
too.
have this with
Me
cornbread
too.
and nothing else.
I mean, I can make a meal out of just boiled potatoes and cornbread.
Me too, Mary. I love it.
So, which we had a lot when we was growing up.
Yeah,
we had it a lot.
Remember, one of my school teachers would call Mama and tell her that all that I would eat would be potatoes.
Potatoes,
in
that's
the
true.
cafeteria, because that's
That's
what I
true.
liked, and
Yeah.
that's what I would eat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put a few of these red
Okay.
pepper flakes in
Okay.
here. And I'm not gonna measure it. I do have measurements on the recipe. We'll wait and add our salt and pepper when we put the potatoes in there. And I'm gonna just actually use the same pot.
Sure.
I'm not even going, that's why I didn't get
Yeah.
a skillet, because this will be a little seasoning and cooking the potatoes, and I'm just going
Right.
to add some water to it once it's, and you can see that it's starting to get little brown spots on the ham.
Yeah.
This ham is cooked, but you know, we're just kind of caramelizing it a little bit. Mary, thank you for manning this while I was doing that.
There's one piece of the ham is a real big piece. I
Yeah.
tried to cut it in half, but I couldn't get it to.
So,
Okay.
Mary, of course, y'all know she spent the weekend with her little grandchildren and Carla's family, and she's been telling me and Mike this morning about Bradley, so
I
you're going to have
know.
to tell them some more about Bradley,
I will.
Mary.
Little Bradley he is such a doll, and that little Kinley, I mean that little girl is a eater. She will eat just about anything you put in front of her. And Miranda's her mother is so excited because she can eat table food now. Because she Googled it and she said, oh, she's 6 months old. She can have this and she can have that. So she got introduced to table food while I was there.
And she loved it, didn't
she?
she?
Loved it.
So what all did she eat?
She ate, well, that first night we was there, I cooked a roast. I made a roast, a big, huge roast. And mashed potatoes and gravy. Was that the first night? Yeah, that was Saturday night. I made, and then one of the great grandkids, she said, she came and she said, Mama, would you fix me some of them green beans with the bacon and the onions like you did when she was at my house one time? And I said, well, I certainly will. I hadn't planned on cooking that because I was trying not to cook so much because we were going to have so much the next day.
Whoa, I turned it up too high, didn't I? Okay, I'm fixing to put the potatoes on.
So I made green beans with bacon and onions in it, and so she gave little Kinley some mashed potatoes, and oh, she liked those mashed potatoes. She liked them so much. And
I want this to splatter on you,
okay,
Mary.
all right.
I have. This is a package of the little gold potatoes, and normally I would have got the red ones, but I didn't like the way they looked in the store yesterday, so I got these. And I'm sorry, Mary, I interrupted you, but
go ahead.
when you're doing something like this, get these little small potatoes because they hold their texture. When we was growing up, I didn't know there was any other potatoes on the market or on the planet except red potatoes, because that's what we had. But these hold their texture. If you use a regular bacon potato or Idaho potato, they're going to fall apart. And you want these to stay cooking and to be whole. So I'm going to get a little bit more water and put in there, and we're going to add some salt and pepper. Go ahead, Mary. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No, that's okay. We're cooking. We gotta let them know what we're doing. Anyway, we had a big supper that night, and Kinley she just eat the potatoes like everything. And then the next day, they was feeding her some string cheese, and she loved that string cheese.
I saw the video of her
yes,
eating that.
she was eating that string cheese and strawberries, and she just. We had the strawberry in our hand while they were feeding her the cheese, and she just grabbed up there and grabbed that strawberry. She wanted that strawberry too. She's
so funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a little bit more salt in here than I normally would. I know the ham's got some salt in it, but these potatoes will absorb the salt. So I'm going to put a little bit more, and then I won't put any when I add the green beans. And we did rinse the green beans, so there's not going to be any salty water from the green beans. Add some black pepper, and I'm going to put the lid on this and get it boiling, and then we can go over there and sit down and talk.
Okay.
We'll let this cook about 10 minutes,
Okay.
and then we'll add the beans to it.
Kenley, I didn't hear her cry not one time while we was there, except the fake cry. And I'll tell you how she done that. As long as, there was all kind of commotion and people talking all around her. She's in her swing and I mean, she would even sleep with us talking. She was just happy as she could be. And we did give her attention some too. But, if one of us walked out, if we all walked out of the room, she would do this fake cry. She would just, rah! And as soon as one of us turned around and looked at her, she'd put a big grin on her face. That was the cutest thing because she just wanted attention or be around somebody. She was just such a sweet doll. And she holds her hands out to you, Linda.
Aww.
She holds her hands out whenever you come up to her, and she's just the friendliest thing. Of course, that's because her mama's, friendly. That kids, it rubs off on them.
Yeah, it does.
What they're around, kids, they pick up on that.
When Miranda was small, about Bradley's age.
Yeah.
She even before then, but she never met a stranger.
No.
Never.
When she was tiny in the basket going in the grocery store, she would talk to people, strangers, and invite them home with her. She did that. One time, a lady was talking about how sweet and pretty she was. She had natural curly hair and so sweet. She said, Miranda said, "You want to go home with me?" she just, and Bradley has done the same thing.
And y'all might think that this is strange, and we're not going to put it in there yet, but we're using Imperial light brown sugar. Y'all know we are sponsored by Imperial sugar. So
how much you put in there?
I'm not putting much, just a half a teaspoon.
Okay.
And I'm going to do some vinegar in it. Now I'm not putting this in there until we add the green beans, but that's what I'm going to use with this here.
I've never used vinegar in green beans before.
Aunt Faye.
Aunt Faye told you about that.
Aunt Faye's the one that does that. And she had eaten some green beans somewhere at a church function.
Okay.
And she asked, it was a man that I believe I'm saying this right now, a man had fixed them, and she asked him how he fixed them, and he told her.
He told her vinegar. See, I've never heard of that.
Brown sugar. I think he put vinegar and brown sugar.
I've never heard of it.
And of course, he made a big gallon, so she adjusted it to, to a regular sized pot. But anyway, it just, I don't know, it kind of gives them a fresh flavor to it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, for those of you who have never had fresh vegetables, or maybe you don't know there's a difference, there's a big difference when you're eating fresh vegetables versus canned or something.
Yeah, it's just a difference.
Because we grew up with fresh vegetables. Pinkie Ball raised everything, that they raise in the South.
Yeah.
So we, from the time the first ones come in until late or early fall, he usually had some kind of a fall crop with some greens or something. We had them. And then he kept potatoes year round.
Yeah.
Under his house.
Yeah,
he kept them under the house.
He did.
So
we crawl under there and get them for him.
Yeah. So we always had fresh vegetables, and to me, there's just nothing like them. And this just kind of gives it a little, has it started to boil yet? It's fixing to.
Yeah, it's almost.
So we're going to boil them about 10 minutes. They won't be done, but then we're going to add the green beans and add this vinegar and sugar in there with it. And it's not much sugar, so don't freak out. It's not
just gives
It's
it
not
a
gonna be
different
like you're gonna
taste.
taste the
No,
sugar.
yeah, I think I've eaten some green beans
Yeah,
with
I've
before
fixed them
with the
before.
brown sugar.
Yeah, I have. And then I've got some bacon cooked here that we're going to crumble on top. I'm not going to put it in there, and you could, but I'm just going
You
to
just
crumble it
want
on
the-
top.
yeah.
Yeah, for a crunch.
Yeah.
And I cook this in the microwave. I usually cook 6 pieces at a time. Mary does hers a little different than me, but I cook about 6 pieces at a time, and I turn the plate upside down. You put the plate on top of it.
I put just paper towels. What I put.
You
I
put
just
paper towels, okay.
I put paper towels on the bottom and then on top.
And on top to
Yeah.
absorb the
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
So it's quick and easy way to cook bacon.
Yeah.
I know people cooks bacon 1,000 different ways. They cook it in the oven, they candy it, they cook it in the
Yeah.
skillet. I love to cook it in the grill pan.
Mm-hmm.
But if I just want a few slices and I don't want to dirty up my stove, I'll cook it in the microwave.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Okay,
I think
so we
it's
got
boiling.
it boiling.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave that lid on there. And for those of you who don't know, this is a Pampered Chef 5 1/4 quart pot. These handles you can pick up. The pot is hot. If you touch that pot, it will burn you. But these handles you can pick up.
When I was at Miranda's, and I done most of the cooking myself while I was there, and especially for Easter Sunday, I was using. She has lots of the Pampered Chef products, that we've given her. And but there was one pan because I needed so many that was not Pampered Chef, and I reached to pick up that thing because these handles don't get hot, and I burned my finger because I wasn't expecting
You're
it.
used to-
I'm
yeah,
used to
you're
these
used to
handles
these.
not getting hot. So
Okay, that's boiling big, so I'm going to turn it back down to medium.
okay.
And we've got about 7 minutes before I turn the burner up on the
Okay.
cornbread. So I guess we can go over here and sit down and
Okay.
talk, or
Okay.
you want to stand here and talk. We need to do a couple of thank yous and
Yeah.
let me get this out of the way. Oh, I want to mention Mama's book.
Okay.
We have lots of new people, new friends that have just started watching us, and we have one cookbook out. That's all we have that's available on our website. But we also have Mama's Story. It is not a cookbook. It is the story of Mama's life. It has a lot of East Texas history, a lot of family history, and it has the story of Mama's life and the tragedy that our family went through and how her faith and inspiration got us through and sustained us during that really tragic time. We are running low on these. Our inventory is. So if you want to order one of these, you need to go to our website, www.pinkymomskitchen.com. Scroll down, I believe it says shop or our products or something.
Yeah. On the first page it says our products.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where you would get it. They're $20 plus tax, whatever tax is in your area, and shipping and handling. So it amounts to about $27 depending on what your taxes are. So
And if you send a check, please make a note on the check or put a note in there, whether it's a cookbook or Mama's book, because I've got 2 checks right now that no telephone number on it, and all it says is book.
and we've had to
We've had
pay
several.
postage twice because we sent the wrong book. And
And then some of you have done it, has sent it back at your own expense.
yes.
And it cost us. But if you happen to send the book back, send it media rate, and it's not as much as what it is if you just go down there and mail it. So all of you people that wants to send something back and it's a book, please send it media rate, and it won't cost you as much.
We think that this is worth reading. Mike just finished it the other day.
Did he?
He was reading it in sections, and Mike, as y'all know, that Mike does not flatter and he does not give out compliments easily. He was just really
Impressed.
taken with this book, and he loved Mama, and Mama loved him. His mother died when he was young, and he doesn't have a lot of memories of his mother, and most of the ones that he has of her was when she was sick. So Mother was like the mother that
Right,
Mike never
right.
knew.
Well, I gave all my grandkids one
Did you?
this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, and I wrote them a little note on the inside of it, personal. So I know that
They've never
appreciate
read
it.
this story. They've never. They may have heard bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But if you are going through something and you tend to feel like, maybe you're the only one, and you might not think that there's a reason for you to even try, you need to read this book. It will inspire you.
It's a lot of people, a lot of y'all out there that's had maybe not this kind of incident, but other kinds of trauma in your life.
That's told us
and it's
about
hard,
it.
and it's hard for you to talk about. So we understand how traumatic it is to put your personal life out there. So it took us a long time
Yes.
to get it out there.
Mama wrote it before she started keeping a journal, and she started researching and writing stories down, and she wrote this 8 years before she died. It stayed in a box in my closet until 2 years ago. I was the only person that ever read it. I think Grace, our niece, Charles's daughter, and Linnell's daughter, may have read it, part of it. You had never read it. Charles had never read it. Edward had never read it. And 2 years ago, when Mary came to me about us starting these videos, and we already had a Pinky Mouse website, we already had a Pinky Mouse page, we were baking and doing baking for the public, but when she came to me and asked me about us doing this, there was 2 reasons. You can tell them, Mary.
Yeah. Well, number one reason was so that we were starting these videos so Linda and I could share with our grandkids and great-grandkids part of our life. We wanted something on record that they would know us better,
Right.
and we could spend more time together. And the other reason was to get Mama's story out. That was the 2 reasons we started these videos from the very beginning.
And probably one of the hardest things we ever
That was
did.
it was hard for me. It was hard for me.
It's very difficult, like Mary said, for us to tell this story.
But getting back to Bradley, that little stinker. I didn't get to spend as much time with him as I really wanted to, but because everything was so fast, and this was the weekend that he was going to be with his daddy, his biological daddy. But they was really nice by bringing him home at 3 o'clock on Sunday. So actually, they brought him home before 3 o'clock so he could spend time with his cousins and be at our Easter. So it worked out real well anyway. But when he came out after everybody had left Sunday, he came out to Carla. Carla, all that property is Carla's. The big barn in the back, we call it the barn in the back. It's like a bed and breakfast. And Carla stays out there most of the time, and her daughter lives in her house. Anyway, so I was out there with her, and Bradley came out there, and he looked at me and he said, "You're going to heaven, Memo." And I said, "I am." I said, "I sure hope I am." And Carla says, "Why would you say that, Bradley?" He said, "Because you're getting old." That was so funny. That was so funny. Carla said, "Well, Memo's got a lot more years to go before she goes to heaven."
He's such a bright little boy.
He's so bright.
He remembers stuff.
Yes.
Tell him about your car.
Oh, about him coming. Well, when he got out of school Friday, his mama went and picked him up from school Friday, and he knew that I was coming for the holiday, but Miranda said she didn't tell him that I was there. And when he got home from school and he come running out there to Carla's, and I heard him before he got to the door, and I opened the door, and he says, Memo's here, Memo's here. And I said, "Bradley, how'd you know I was here?" He said, "Because that's your car." He's very intelligent. We asked him, Linda, what did he want to be when he grew up? He didn't even hesitate to think. He said, "I want to be a daddy." And he said, and when I go to work, I want to be an astronaut. He said, "I want to go out and I want to go into space." And he may do it because I'm telling you that child is smart.
He is smart. I mixed up the vinegar with the brown sugar, and I'm going to go ahead and put.
Okay.
I used just a half a teaspoon of brown sugar.
Okay.
And I didn't quite use a whole tablespoon of vinegar.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Oh no, it's a teaspoon. It's not a tablespoon.
A teaspoon of vinegar and a half a teaspoon of brown sugar.
Yes.
Anyway, so I got to talking to Bradley, and I said, Bradley, what are you learning in school? He said, I'm learning about mammals. He said, you know, they're like us. This is just exactly the way he said it. They're like us. They're warm-blooded, and they produce milk for the babies. And what all else did he say? The warm-blooded, they give milk, and I can't even remember what all he said. But I just rattled off on and on about mammoth.
My potatoes are not quite done, but I've got 3 cans of drained cut green beans that I'm going to go ahead and put in the boiler.
Okay.
I didn't want that juice that came in here.
Right. So anyway, I enjoyed talking to him. He could have talked on and on and on because he's very intelligent. I tell you what, his mama had put him to bed that night. Well, actually, it was that afternoon after everyone left. They told him he had to rest. He didn't have to go to sleep, but he had to rest. And so it was already had gotten dark, but it was still around 7 o'clock. So I told Carla, I said, I want to visit with Bradley some. So, and it was early, and I knew he didn't have to go to school the next day. So I went out there and tiptoed because Kenley was asleep. I went into Bradley's bedroom, and he has a tent. He has a real live big tent in his room. He was inside that tent with his iPad, and he heard me coming. He covered his head up with that. I think he thought his mama was going to tell him he better be asleep. So he covered his head up with that iPad, and I said, Bradley, and he took the cover off, and he jumped up immediately. And so I told him that to be quiet and don't wake up Kenley, but he could go out and visit with us for a while. And of course he did. Miranda has ain't that a husky, Linda? Isn't that a husky dog? His blue eyes. I think it's a husky. Miranda has a husky dog, and I get up early in the mornings. Her complete yard is fenced in with the privacy fence, but I came out of the garage and wasn't thinking everything was quiet, and I wasn't ready to stay in bed, so I got up. I was going to go out and start breakfast, and I walked out from the barn to the back porch, and that Diesel's his name was out there. He was chewing on a bone they had given him, and he wouldn't let me in the back porch.
Oh no!
And I'm afraid of dogs, and I think they sensed that. And I didn't say anything, but I mean, he barked, and he would make circles around that bone, which was between me and the door. So I started easing my way back to the garage, and he just kept following me and circling me and barking, scaring me to death. And finally, when I got under the carport, he was just not letting me go any further. And I started talking to him then. I started saying, Diesel, you don't have to do that. It's okay. And I raised my hand like this when I said, don't. And he kind of jumped and barked at me. And Carla heard him by then. And he came out there. But he like to make me have a heart attack, Linda. It shook me up so bad I went in the house and cried.
Oh,
my heart was just beating out of my chest. Tears just flowed without even me thinking about it.
Coming out there that early, did they?
Yeah, they didn't, and they didn't know. He's protecting, not letting nobody get in that door, in the doors is what it was. But they scolded him, but still at the same time he was doing his job. But he sure scared me. And I tell you, I didn't walk out that door anymore unless one of them was with
I
me.
imagine it did scare you.
But you know what? During the day, Linda, as we went on, I mean, it was no problem. It didn't bother us or nothing. But I guess it's first thing in the morning, you know, and
he knew it was out of the ordinary.
yeah, that was the first morning I was there, but he sure scared me. He scared me bad. I'm afraid of dogs. I got bit by a dog one time, and I know what it's like. So, what is it? But is the cornbread done?
Not quite.
Okay.
I cook it just a few minutes after I, I turn the oven up to 450 and cook it just a little bit after then.
Okay. Well,
Probably don't eat butter on your cornbread, do you?
I don't, but that's okay. I never would eat butter as a kid. I wouldn't put butter on nothing. I eat it, but it's just not something that I have to do to enjoy it. But anyway, I had a good visit.
Mary, we need to thank
Yes,
this lady.
yes, we got a package in the mail yesterday. I got it at my house, and I left mine at home. But
And Easter cards, we got
yes,
a bunch of Easter cards.
cards. Thank y'all so much for your Easter
love
cards.
every
It's so
one of
sweet
them.
of you.
I kept mine on my pen until yesterday, and I took them down.
This is Janet Darlington from Buena Vista, Virginia. Look at the cross. Isn't that cute? It's precious. It says, "When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you." And that is, I'm sure everyone
Beautiful.
has had that a time in their life that that you felt like that God, where was God, you know, and why you was going through so much. Just remember, it's like the saying is, that's when he carries you. And then this little pretty, I think she makes these, Linda.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Beautiful?
Thank you so much.
Beautiful, from Janet Darlington. It's so pretty. And a pen, a nice pen. Look, little name tag. It's a mason jar. And a scripture pen says, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." Philippians 4:13. It's a nice pen. So thank you, Janet. And then a nice long letter, which we both read. It's so sweet of you. Appreciate it so much. I was trying to think of something else that the kids. Shelley sold all her sheep except for one, and the girls, her daughters that she just adopted, wanted to keep that one sheep. Well, it's something about it. They have to have two. And she done gotten rid of all of them. So now she's got to buy another one to be friends with this one that they don't want to get rid of.
That's so funny.
I'm telling you, those kids, you never, well, Shelley told them they was going to have to feed it and take care of it because she goes to college and works full time, and that's why she had to get rid of them, and she just didn't have time to take care of them. I think she probably had, I don't know how many, probably 15 sheep and three or four pigs and rabbits, and she just had a little farm. And she just, it's a full-time job trying to take care of animals and go to school and work and everything. So she was trying to get rid of her animals so she could have more time with the family. Well, the kids are getting older up there in sports and stuff like that. So to be able to participate in that, and she had to have it cool down.
We're trying to keep this camera still, but I'm fixing to take up my cornbread.
Linda. That
Thank
cornbread is beautiful. She makes the best cornbread. I used to thought I made the best cornbread, but since Bobby died, I don't make cornbread as often as I used to, and so I've kind of gotten my knack
you.
now.
Cut that and put some on the platter.
Okay.
Do you need a spatula or something.
Do you cut yours in pie shaped or
Since
long?
that's square, you can cut it. You can cut it in however you want to cut it, Mary. You don't have to.
Like this?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I like my cornbread cut like this.
Well, cut it any way you want to cut it.
Okay. That's the way I'm gonna cut it. I cut it squares. I mean slices, like you slice of a cake. That's not. And you probably rather had it cut like a pie because you're putting your butter in between
With this
it.
being this square pan,
Yeah.
I usually cut it like this. If
Oh,
it's
do
a
you?
round
Okay.
pan, I'll
Okay.
cut it in like pie shape.
Okay.
But because it's just, to me, it's easier to cut that
And
way.
I want everybody to see this flower arrangement on Linda's table. She says that I'm the only one who make a flower arrangement. She has made a beautiful flower arrangement. I did not do it. She did it. I'm going to see if I can take it over there and make it
Okay.
closer so y'all can see it.
You're just brave in there.
Well, Linda, you did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
Isn't that beautiful? Now, Linda made that herself. So she can't say she does not know how to make a flower arrangement, because she
My
does.
flower arrangement is kind of like other things that I do that I don't really know how to do it. I do it my way. It's not the way you would have done it.
No,
but-
it is too. That's exactly how I would have done it. She did a great job. I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all probably already know it, but if there's something my sister don't do or think she can't, she will work at it till she does. She figures it out. Trust me, everything.
I had a little vase of some daisies, those yellow flowers that was in it. And they were in there in the office. And I was going to just run to the dollar store and grab a couple of flowers and add to it. Well,
It takes a lot of flowers to make a nice
you know
arrangement
how
like
the
that.
Pinkston kids are. We don't do anything
I know.
like most people do.
Yeah.
So I didn't even want to get ready. I was kind of sluggish over the weekend. That's why I didn't post a lot, because I got that second booster Thursday, and it kind of knocks you out for a little while. But anyway, thank God it doesn't last that long. But after I got dressed, I told Mike, I said, I'm not going to go to Jefferson. I'll go to 3 or 4 places and won't get what I want, so I'll just run to Walmart. Well, you know what running to Walmart means?
I know it. Take
Getting
all
a
day
different
to-
container.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't gone long.
Oh.
But getting a different container, and then, well, I see this flower, I like this, I like that. So I wound up with a whole sack full of stuff and brought it home and just put it
Well, you
together.
did-
It's not anything like what Mary
You
would have
did.
done. But
Hey, I could not have done it any better. It's beautiful.
I wanted something on my table that was different,
Yeah.
you know, and I didn't want pink on the yellow, because I had bought that yellow tablecloth strictly for this time,
Yeah.
because it's getting
Yeah.
close to May, and I wanted something bright and cheery. So we're going to be gone the first week of May, which is, I think, is when Cinco de Mayo is, isn't it?
I don't know,
The
Linda.
Mexican holiday. I think
don't
it's that
know.
first weekend of May.
It's the first weekend of May. We
And-
get back.
I may
We
be
get-
wrong. It may be the weekend we get back. But anyway, I wanted something bright. So that's why I bought that tablecloth. And it's too big for my table, y'all. I know that. But it's the smallest one they had, so I bought it.
Yeah, it's okay.
I
It's
just made
okay.
it
It's
work.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
So anyway, I'm fixing to take up the potatoes and the beans. And we don't know if we have any questions, because we don't have
Yeah.
little Linda here to help
Yeah.
us with that.
I don't know.
But we've enjoyed being on
Let's
this
see if I
morning.
can see. Okay.
I'm wondering.
Okay. I don't see any questions, but I can't read it. I'm trying to look at it upside down. I can't read the questions if there is any. We'll just have to answer them when we look at the comments later on this afternoon. The month of May, this is April, and it's about over with, and the month of May is booked every weekend.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what when we could go to Mississippi, and it looks like it's going to be the last weekend of April. I mean May.
Yeah.
And every weekend in May is full. It's booked
Oh,
up.
should we tell them about the book signing?
Oh yeah, on May the 20th, isn't it? Is it the 20th or 21st? 21st. May the 21st, we were going to be in Lufkin, and I don't have the address. I'll have to get all that information for y'all. We're going to be at a antique shop. Our cousin Donna runs part of it. And so we're going to be set up a booth there inside the antique shop to sign books, cookbooks, or mother's books. And if you live anywhere in the area, Livingston, Houston, Lufkin, Beaumont, anywhere like that, would like to drive, it's in Lufkin, Texas. It's on Highway 69, isn't it? I think it's on 69, Highway 69. I'll get all that information and post it if you want to come. It's just a nice little antique shop. They have lots of little booths inside a building, so you'll be on the inside. And it just be a nice day for you to take your girlfriend, take your friend, take your husband, take your wife, just and spend the day and make a little trip and shop and we'll sign. If you've already purchased a book, we'll sign it for you. So
get out of the house and drive.
Just get out of the house, yeah, and have a nice day. We're hoping that it's good weather. And the reason we're doing it in May is because we don't want it to be so hot for the outside. So we looking forward to that. And we met a lot of people when we went to ladies' conference that lived in that area, but because it was a church function, we thought that some people in that area would like to come and we'd like to meet you, because just because the other event was at a church function, this won't be. This is a little house that you can shop. And then our church on May the 14th, we got an event that we're going to be going to at the church.
I don't guess I need this platter. We can just eat the cornbread off. Get the cornbread off the plate. I'm just gonna put some on the platter, but
I didn't cut that part. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. So, would you want the cornbread on the platter?
No, that's okay. It'll just dirty the platter. Michael will appreciate that.
Well, this is just a nice little plate. We just
okay.
Get us a piece of cornbread. Isn't that pretty? Doesn't that cornbread look good?
I love crispy cornbread.
I love that crust. And that's because your skillet was hot.
Yeah, and you'll notice by me using that mixer, there's no little white things in that.
Yeah.
Woo, that bowl's hot.
You got something to put it on? You do, don't you? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll move it. Here, I'm going to move where they can see it. You have to put the bowl right there, Linda. Ooh, that looks so good. That makes me think of Molly's table.
It makes you think of summer, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does.
Okay, so I've got pepper in it, but I need to see pepper on my food. So I'm just going to put a little fresh cracked black pepper on the top. Don't that smell good?
Mm-hmm. That cornbread, I could just make a meal out of that cornbread.
And then we're going to put a few bacon bits on top.
Oh, we got to take a picture of that, remember?
Oh, thank you. Always forget.
It's delicious.
Need some water?
I probably could, Linda. I could drink some water.
You know, I don't make tea very often, Mary.
I don't need tea.
I don't
for
like
sure.
to drink calories.
Yeah.
I'd rather eat a piece of cornbread than to drink calories.
Thank you.
Okay.
Here's your spoon.
You're welcome. Go ahead and have yourself, Mary.
I'm gonna fix that.
Do you want a spoon or fork? I got spoons.
Spoon is fine. Spoon is fine. I want some juice. Okay.
Alright, butter. And I already done
You put
some.
butter on your cornbread?
Yes, I do.
Bradley, Jeff gave him a biscuit with butter in it, and he ate it.
He did.
And he ham. I'm telling you, that evening the child had to have been hungry, or because he's a picky eater. But he ate that ham. We had smoked spiral ham, and Jeff set up practically all night long cooking that brisket on that pellet cooker, whatever that means. Is it's a pellet grill or whatever, and he made me a ribeye steak because he wanted Miranda been bragging on how good steaks he makes, so he made me a ribeye steak that day.
That was nice, wasn't it?
Well, he made a bunch of them, but he was cooking it for me. But he made it for us for lunch, and then we had that brisket and big meal that afternoon. Anyway, Linda,
Thank you, Jesus, for this.
Thank
food.
you, Lord. Ooh, that potato looks so good.
Now, I'm a little bit old-fashioned. I'll tell you what I'm fixing to do.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Put that cornbread in there. Yep.
Don't worry, I'll eat that other piece too.
Oh yeah.
I love to eat food like this. This is my kind of eating.
It's hot. I can tell you that.
Paulie, remember Paulie? His food had to be boiling before he would eat it. Renee's like that.
Yeah, Renee's that way.
And I'm that way. I do not want cold food. I want my food to be hot.
Delicious, Linda. Absolutely delicious. Read that camera down.
Did I need any more seasoning?
Not for me. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
So you got bacon and ham in here. And you really would not have to fix anything else for supper.
No.
Unless you just have some picky eaters.
You got
that
your
want
meat,
something
you got
else.
your potatoes, beans. That's may be a little bit on the calorie side, but it sure is good.
It is good.
So
we hope that y'all are having a wonderful day. It's just so gorgeous this time of year. It's beautiful. We get these little rains and these little storms that come through, but the Lord's protected us from them, and it's just a gorgeous day outside today.
yes,
So
it is. Yes, it is.
we hope that you will share this video. We hope that you will share our page. Tell people like our video. You have to like each individual one. So if you don't mind, if you think you've liked our page, it's important that you like our video too as we do our videos. And we'll be at your house tomorrow.
Yes, we'll be at my house tomorrow. Yes.
And what are you cooking?
I'm making meatballs and gravy.
Oh, that sounds good.
I may make some mashed potatoes go with it too, but
That sounds
I'm
real good.
doing meatballs and gravy. So we hope to see you live tomorrow.
We love y'all. Be sure to count your blessings. I heard something on one of the programs that I watch, the Waltons, and I know they're all reruns, but I love to watch them. And one of the people on that show said, I think it was the Waltons, it might have been Little House, but count your blessings, not what you're missing. I think that's the key to people being happy. People that are always looking for something that they don't have and forgetting to be thankful for what they do have.
Yes. We love y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.